Hello everybody, Jet here, and welcome to a new playthrough of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Big thank you to Owlcat Games for the early access code so I could get some recording done for you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Please let me know how my audio is as well, by the way, guys, because I find it a bit hard on this game to get set up, so let me know what you think. Anyway. So the main story, obviously, we're taking up the rank of a rogue trader, and we're going to see that, because I've obviously played a bit of this before in the alpha, so we'll see how things go. I'm going to be playing on normal rather than court, because I don't know the game that well. We are going to create a new character. We are using this portrait because it is very cool. Oh, and yeah, we definitely want to sort our appearance quickly. I'm just blitzing through this, guys. I have set this up before, so, you know. So homeworld, I could start on death world. Gives me less intelligence, more strength, more agility, more fellowship. Brutal hunter. Oh, okay. Hellish life. Now, this is one, which is set up, but I think hive world, fellowship, and agility. Let's have a look. See, Imperial World Feudal is good because it gives us strength and weapon skill. And actually, I'm going to go for that. It's a work in progress, so that's fine. I have gone through all of this before, guys. Again, there's lots of different options I could do. I'm actually going to go for criminal this time, just because it sounds like an interesting background. You'll see why later on. I have done this before and had a bit of a very look at the early start of the game. But yeah, so weapon skill, perception. So basically, it's pushing our weapon skill up, and we get good perception and awareness there. Triumph and Darkest Hour are all work in progress, and we are going to be a fighter. Oh, didn't realise I could do that. I could go to a soldier, but no. A fighter. I can go assassin afterwards, apparently. Interesting. Characteristics, there we go. See, soldier. Let's have a look what soldier does. Adept is kind of a mixture. The adept careers allows a person to use intelligent perception. Oh, I kind of like that, actually. I might go adept. It's a nice mix, actually. You know what? I'm actually going to go adept. I wasn't planning on that, but yeah. I want to up my intelligence reasonably, because having a high intelligence is just good. Because it gives me the ability. I know I can use all my characters to do things, but it's a good mixture of things. So, you know, obviously want to up my toughness, my weapon skill, and probably my agility and my fellowship for talking to people and doing things. There we go. I will get other chances, but I'm as I play, but I'm fairly well rounded now. You know what? I don't need to up my weapon skill. It's already high enough. What does willpower do? Demonstrates to withstand the horrors of the warp, terrors of space. High willpower skills to exert control over a crowd of rioting hab workers. Or I could just up my toughness to make me tougher. It's a tricky one, actually. Pushing my awareness up even more. I'm kind of going a nice all-rounded character here, but I kind of like that. What's upping my willpower fix anything here? Sorry, I'm kind of taking too long here. You know, I'm going to up my perception. Give me a really good all-round there. There we go. Let's have a look at names. Ooh. The Unforgiven. Ooh. But no, I know what I want it to be called. If it will let me. Edit. The Ronin. I know it's a boring name, but it's something it's something I do in lots of things. So there we go. And Jet, of course. And into the game we go. Again, guys, lots of reading and stuff, so I do apologise if I do stumble over anything while I'm playing, guys. I am very dyslexic, so there's every chance I will stumble over things, though it's good practice for me. Very good practice for me to try and talk and read things out loud. Konrad Vortkv. Anyway, I can't say that. An excellent place for contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down into the depths of a vast temple on one of the lower decks. One of the best views of a cathedral from here. Mesmerising, is it not? A few good options, but frankly, such excessives can be tiring at times. I believe there are those amongst us who share the sentiment, but such is duty, is it not, to overcome the base weakness and desires so as to excel in the service of the God Emperor, the master of humanity. So hyperlinks, I can hover over things to see what they do. What is your name? My name is Jet. My regards, Jet. Or should I say, Jet von Valentius, scion of the Blessed Rogue Trader House, in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and the Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of her ladyship, or her servants, to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of her dynasty. Let's have a look. Why have you been brought here? I assume you have a goal in mind coming to speak to me. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patrons, and I am sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage so far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelfrad von Valentius are conversing in the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officer's deck. Let us join them there. I shall accompany you. Okay, so we've got a journal entry now. There we go. Let's follow him. So movement, yeah, just click.
Victory awaits.
Do you want me to read everything, guys? And when I'm doing chats and things like there were lots of things I could look into, but I'm going to be honest, I don't want to have to read everything. So if I press tab, it brings things up I can click or look at. There we go. You know, I don't want to have to click read every single thing because it's very difficult for me, but I'm happy to read, you know, the main bits. Here we go. Hoping by the time the game's live there will be some voice acting in it, like there is some. Oh, an emergency! Esteemed Lord Captain's pet has broken loose. Hey, here it comes. Blast it. Watch out, Jet.
Terminated.
Okay, so we've got to kill the beast. So he's buffed us. Movement in combat's fairly standard. It's what you'd expect. I can move. If I shoot, I stop being able to move. I'm going to move here.
My tactics are flawless.
What's this one? Study enemies. If the adept hits target with clue, it deals an extra damage. So, randomly distributes int bonus stacks of clue marks among enemies in a 4 square radius. So I randomly put clue marks, and yeah, so I do more damage. With clue mark, it does extra damage, removes 1 stack of clue, and provides an insight at the end of combat. Interesting.
All too easy.
There we go. Didn't actually remove one of the clue stacks. We are in early access, so. Again, I may change what character I have. This isn't the third time I've started already, because I keep changing my mind on what character I want to play. What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passengers between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm not going to restart now. I keep restarting at this point to make a new character. I'm not going to do it. I'm sticking with what I got. He has decided to remain at the scene. Spread out! No one enters the premises! Stations! I'm afraid I must remain here, Jet, for Lady Theodora's safety. I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform. It's just at the end of the corridor. Why do I have a bad feeling? Okay, so how to access my journal? By pressing J.
Doubt is for the weak. It's about time.
I have a bad feeling.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Here we go. Edelfrad. That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says a man dressed in peculiar garb, a voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered with sin skin, is a twisted grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be politically and economical suicide, practically admission of heresy. Theodora, a tall, grey-haired woman, pins her gaze, him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What would you do, Aeons the Sixth? Do with Aeon the Sixth. Aeon 6. There. Edelfrad? Listen in silence. While you are considering your answer, Edelfrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I should hear something more interesting than an incoherent mumbling. She nods in your direction. Approach. What is this? He turns around and regards you with indignation. Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Or do you permit people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion? I gave that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it is worth it. She tilts her head. Her lips stretch into a cold smile. This is Jet, the second candidate for the title of my successor. The rogue trader regards you with a look of imperious, predatory. That is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. Step forward. Passive skill checks. Okay, character skills reflect their current level, so yeah. Consider this hypothetical situation. Aeon 6, a new world on the fringes of Koronus Expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits. Prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question is to you. What would you do with this poisoned treasure? So this is where the having the high int is good. So those spirits could well be of natives could well be dangerous aliens. First, I would verify if that was indeed the case. Confirm whether or not what's happening is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give you the answer. So something to my life. Engagement with natives can betray their some of those betray their chieftains is quite service. The report the spirits to no. The Xeno one. Reasonable improvements. However, chasing an inferior creatures may prove rather long-winded and fruitless endeavour. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with a myriad of horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Jet, are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which I understand is still more than you could do. Oh! We are both servants of God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? That one. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece, Jet. I suggest you familiarize yourself with the fact that before you are sorely... Ooh. Edeltrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on the ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior cogitator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence is such a profound effect on me that I forgot the time. So I think she wasn't impressed by my answer. She follows him as he leaves. Then she turns to you. So, Jet, why are you here? Was it not you who sent for me? Scoffs. You could have ceded that opening. The opening was offered to you and displayed woeful meekness. Ah, even for one of inferior rank. Admittedly, this affliction is equally strong amongst all who are inured to the insistence on existence in the grip of the Imperium. I'm not sure I like her. Imperium, immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lick-splittery, compulsion to please. Forget all that. From the moment my envoys came to you, the old rules ceased to matter. My name is Theodora von Valentius, Massimo of Afscarus. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by the most sacred relic, the warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honour to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light, where powers wicked and heretical reign and bode death to ruin us all. Ooh. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereupon, resources, peoples, riches and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Jet, are one of those with von Valentius blood in their veins, and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. I am ready. It's too sudden? One of. Does this mean there are other heirs? Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelfrad may be somewhat concerted by the scale of responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the honour of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not as in the role of Lord Captain, then that of their closest ally. She sighs and looks away pensively for a moment. Alas, Even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad Vogtevir served me for many years before he made that mistake. Did I hear that? The Master of Whispers is related? His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valentius, even if he avoids using it publicly. And as such, strictly speaking, he can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Vogtevir's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or at least it used to be. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask questions now? The vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life. All you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces and shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the voidship's translation to warp, and my presence on the bridge is required. Let's see. A wild beast was free to roam anyone who ran into it. Is that so? I do keep a number of pets native to one of my planets on the officer's deck. Perhaps someone was careless during feeding time. Or it could have been the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps our possessed ship was in a mood for a lot. Oh. Abelard. Lady Theodora, for God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumours spread by the uneducated riffraff. Enough, Abelard. Such heresy amuses me. Idara eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors as she turns to you. The ship is 1,000 years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators. So cogitators like a computer. Digital man, anyway, because you don't have computers and AI in the same way. And unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of spectres dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against us. I have no more questions. There we go. In that case, I shall head to the Vox Awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws a weapon. Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. She glances at you. It is possible that the chance to prove yourself may present itself sooner than anticipated. Ooh, fun time. Heretics! Oh, looks like we're having fun.
Annihilate them!
Nice. I did consider going melee. Ooh! I am melee, but going that melee, if you see what I mean, so I could charge people. Because it is useful being able to get up close and personal, but I do like having a nice balanced character as well.
You'll regret this.
Cover! Okay, yep. Okay. Oh, he got all of them. Good.
Not a problem for me.
I missed. I kind of like the one. There's options which give me multiple shots and things. I'm gonna be honest. Once I finish recording, I may switch, get to the same place.
Why is the ring?
I'm terrible, guys. I'm definitely the sort of person who would restart multiple times.
Reduced to dust.
Death to the heretics!
Suits my purposes.
What's my chance if? Was full of dangers to help allies, save your life, temporary positive effects to companion. Okay, yeah.
I'll pass. I shall not fear. Nothing I can't do.
I might actually hit somebody at some point. Now I'm completely not in cover.
One fewer target. Just a minor setback.
Nice. Obviously, eventually I get a whole group of people to fight with, but at the moment we're still learning the game. I'm missing everybody.
Reduced to dust.
Ooh. There we go. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path for transport. Do not let a single horse survive. Turns out, didn't bat an eye on that scum bursting of deck. Not bad. I've seen many an officer who would have panicked at the sight of combat on the updecks. False sense of security makes much more susceptible for harsh realities of warp transitions. What happened? For what I've seen, Jet, I can speculate we're dealing with some variety of warp madness. So when you go to warp, people can go mad. Such episodes are not uncommon amongst the Voidsmen, who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space. Though such episodes seldom spill into other decks. The casters are not working. That's a Vox, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the chief engineer before I can get a sense of what we're up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. What are your orders? Mort has gone ahead to clear a path for us. I want you to make yourself useful. Go after him and see the Arch-Militant, if the Arch-Militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Okay, can I loot anybody? Nope. Where am I meant to be going? Last. I'm sure he went through here.
We shall prevail. I'll lay claim to the stars.
There we go. We've got a fight going on here. They're breaking through! See, I did go more melee. I was right. I was getting myself confused for a second then. Okay, I don't appear to be able to go there. Here we go. Here's Mort. Thank you. Providence, you're alive and well. Always on timer, huh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing this riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after fighting's done. You could set a chrono by it. Mort, pull yourself together. Archmilton looks back at you. What did the captain send you to chivvy us along? Well, are we done? I'll report it right away. I didn't get to fight anything, I just got to follow. Master whispers, what is happening here on my ship? The Voxnet is silenced. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my Arch-Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and who they serve? Report! I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. He pauses. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps it is an organized mutiny. Who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced illusions could have tainted any of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. I have the means to do both things at once. Edelfrad. Where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psycho aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen. I tried to locate him, but the last thing I knew about his movement was he'd arrived at Transitional Deck 18. Blast it, Master of Whiskers. Find him immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlass and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant with me. I must go to my study. It appears that we might encounter heretics on the way. Jet, she glances at you forcefully. If I may, Lord Captain, Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of a disturbance. If our goal is to bring Edelfrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as our esteemed arch-militant, and taking into consideration Edelfrad's psychic powers. Find out the whereabouts. There we go. Theodora, it is settled then. Jet, find Edelfrad and return here. In any state. This elevator, she points to the massive doors, lead to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I shall do everything in my power. Not everything in power. You will do as I say. Okay. Are you ready to head to 18? I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket. Lady Theodora would never have someone she clearly could rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you're consumed by an unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. I've been betrayed. What a surprise. Not. I promised you a special destiny, Jet. It is time to fulfill it. Oh dear. So he's the betrayer. If you watched me play the alpha, you already knew that, so. And I've been kicked awake. Okay, to my journal. We failed. Lord Captain. Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need her briefing. She looks you up and down. You are back with us, I see. Delightful. You two-faced scum, you're behind this mayhem. How perspective of you, Jet. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have an option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it from you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant chamber. This is the voidship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond the gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all her power, the sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains in my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the sentinel, an ancient device which will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. Your blood offer. You will offer blood. Too thin. On the contrary, the warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind. Oh, he's corrupted. The sentinel refused to submit me, but you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for? I have no intention of helping. I'm afraid that you, Jet von Valencius, have no choice in the matter. He produces a strange object, a blade without a handle that shimmers bright blue. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasure doing it. To the void with you. So willpower checks, characters. Yeah. The blade flashes dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning. Okay. Fight the voice out your head. Get out! I failed. The voices in your head giggle and mock you desperately as your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet, making you take a step towards the gates of the chamber. Gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the frontal panel. As you approach, your torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human. The sentinel turns its head to you. One of its eyes. Yeah. Examine the device. Succeeded. You carefully inspect the design of the cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used in the material of the machine's components. Some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect you are looking at a technical relic known as an archotech, ancient tech. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, close to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. A vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbol on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. A voice that filled your head after Vortiger wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Places my hand in the more. Clamps around your hand, lovely, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear a humming of the servo motors start up, and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass, the sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes, and pretend none of this has ever happening. Levels of caustic humours. The subject's in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Do you understand? There was a quiet voice coming from crackling. You do not... Who is this? Genetic code identified. Child of a house. You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if the lurking entity has sensed something not to its liking. Yes, Sentinel, traitors threaten my life, and they threaten the safety of the warrant. Pain shoots through your head, and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity caught in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Sorry guys, I'm messing this up. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. Oh! Well, there is still another way. Oh! Check the warrant chamber.
Follow my lead.
Shut the doors. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document... Okay, yep. Yada, 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 yada. I can't read it fast enough. Basically, it's a warrant from the Emperor himself saying that we are awesome. The Valenciuses are awesome. And here he comes. Oh, no. Escort the child to the house to safety. Who addresses me? Temporary abomination following acute stress. Mobile unit of the warrant. Sentinel standing by. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless. Distance from current location to nearest arsehole. Initiating calculations. Lead me away from here. Okay. I can save the game now. There we go.
Victory awaits.
And I actually think this is a good place to take a break, guys. We will be continuing this soon, because I really enjoyed this game. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do hope you are enjoying watching me play. Please do like and subscribe if you are enjoying this content. And as always, an extra special thank you to my channel members and patrons: Monsters Bound, Philip F, Nose, Andrew T, Prataru, Brandon, Space Ace 475, Coding Monster, Jason Air, Egg, and Jared Horn. And you will all have access, guys, to this on a post which should have dropped just after this went live on my Patreon or channel members page or in Discord. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Cheers on.